Alrighty, let's see. Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Normally I'm from Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, but today I'm here, as I pop out my chat, on my own channel, the Stacey Storino channel. And this is the channel for the more mature entrepreneur. You could be an entrepreneur, mom, or parent or not. If you're interested in organic content marketing and how to use it on a variety of platforms, so that you can drive more traffic to your business so that you can do more business, this is the YouTube channel for you. So if you're new here, if this is your first time and you are interested in getting assistance like that, I tend to go live on my YouTube channel on Wednesdays at around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Miss Heather, what's going on? Hi, at Heather Dupay. What's going on? All right. So usually what I'll do on Wednesdays is I will pick a topic that I plan to talk about for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then especially if you're one of my students, I have thousands of them because I've been a coach since 2013. If you're one of my students and you want to, ask me some questions, that's what I'm here for. Also, if you're one of my students and you want to share what you've done for your business this week, I want to shout you out. I want other people, especially other students of mine, to shout you out. So let me know in the comments down below, #live, #replay. If for any reason you're watching some or all of this on the replay and you have a question, you can put it in the comments section down below. I do tend to, for at least about, a day, go back to check in to see if I have anyone on the replay who needs help or wants me to recognize something cool that they've done for their business this week. Are you working on a website or updating a website? You get a new email opt-in together. What are you doing? Are you doing relationship marketing on behalf of your business this week? Are you having a sales promotion this week? Please let me know. I do care. Even if you're not one of my students, somebody ought to be recognizing you for all the hard work that you do. All right, let me keep greeting people. Hi, at the Speckled Loon. Remember when you guys do your live streams, hi, the Speckled Loon by CZB. And hi, Denise at Devonshea Creations. Hi, Miss Nicola. What's going on, Miss Nicola? How you doing? Are you getting more products listed on that website of yours that you've updated? Miss Lisa Garrett, it's been a minute. Hi, Miss Lisa. Miss Daniela, I am so proud of you and all of the progress that you're making in your business. Didn't you have a live thing recently that you went to, like a live in-person event? Patricia Saunders. Hi, Miss Patricia. And then, okay, so Heather does have a question up front. Ooh, or maybe she doesn't. Let's see. I binged all of your TikTok videos yesterday while in the shop, so I have a couple of questions. We had a TikTok account, but it was just a dump of product photos, so starting fresh. Okay. Well, we can totally get to TikTok because I will say this. If you didn't see one of my videos from like, what was it, a day or two ago? Heather, let me know. And do me a favor, you guys. It's like a tip in the tip jar for the free training and all that good stuff. Could you just please give this video a big thumbs up? And if it's not too much trouble, you can share this out on your social. For anybody who's ever like, no coach ever helps me for free, nobody ever answers my questions, share it out. Share it out. It's a free resource and people can come here and I can answer their questions live or on the replay. And I certainly have a ton of organic content marketing videos and playlists, including 2 TikTok playlists so far and at least 2 Instagram playlists so far. And then there's the Instagram Reels separate playlist. So, there's a ton of resources here, but like a day or two ago, because I put out videos Monday and Tuesday of every week, then there's a live stream / replay that we do at about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. And, then there's another 2 pre-produced videos on Thursday and Friday. So 5 days a week, content goes up here. And really quickly, let me do the announcement for anybody watching live or on the replay who's on my email list / they're a student from someplace else. Social Talk Shortcut, my TikTok deep dive course. I booted over the cart close date by about 2 days. You do have through this Friday to make the purchase at $397. The course will go to $997 pretty much forevermore, going forward. And I am working on getting a payment plan programmed. It'll be a 2-pay because it's a $397 course, not like my $997 ones. So it will be a 2-pay course. And of course, I will post in the student groups when that particular sales page link is up. And of course, I will send out at least one email to the list just to let them know about that. Hey, Bridget from Personal Space Creations, what's going on? All righty. All right. So I will also talk about the Apple privacy update, okay? Because I know that you either don't know that this happened or you just started to get information from your email service providers today about how the latest iOS 15 update, for your iPhones and the Mac OS Monterey update for, say, like your desktop and laptop, that sort of thing. How does this affect email marketing? Do you care? You may not. I will tell you how I view this, and it doesn't overall, spoiler alert for my students who might be concerned, it does not overall change what I've taught you, whether it's in a course that you bought from me or during any one-on group coaching sessions that we do. There will be one metric that you will increasingly not have access to, but sweat not. I'm going to tell you what that metric is. And the two metrics that remain that you will totally, those are the more valuable ones in a sense anyway. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you why. But Heather says, when starting a new TikTok account, should I post X amount of number of posts a day to get it going? Just a second, Miss Heather. I'm just going to look on my YouTube channel really, really quickly because we're going to get to the Apple iOS 15 update. But, I'm here to answer questions from my students all the time. So Heather, the answer to that question is in a YouTube video that I did. And it isn't up yet. It's going to be up tomorrow. Okay. Because I schedule out quite a few of my YouTube videos. Barney and I are about a week ahead of time. You can watch this video on my channel in terms of how many times a week to publish on TikTok. Let me be more. All right. So it's premiering tomorrow. You might be able to access it now and get like a preview on the preview. Otherwise, that video that kind of goes back and unpacks a bit, it's not a very long video. It's scheduled to come out tomorrow, Thursday, what would it be? The 16th. September 16th. But in essence, when you're first launching any sort of social media platform, the fastest answer is more times is better. Oh, I see more people are coming on board. Give this video a big thumbs up, hashtag live, hashtag replay. Let me know if you're seeing this live or on the replay. Okay, because I definitely want to make sure the more engagements any live gets on YouTube or anywhere else, the more it pushes it out to my subscribers and to other people who this will be suggested out to. For now, I'm going to pin the message in terms of the video that I am recommending. Yeah. All right. So obviously, when you're first kicking off a channel or an account on social media, you don't want your stuff to be too thin, right? You only have 1, 2, 3 videos. It's going to look kind of empty. So like on Instagram with like your Instagram feed and feed posts, it's not unusual for people to say the day that you launch, right? Besides like maybe the 1 or 2 tester pieces of content that you put out, try to at least have 9 pieces of content. So you like have a full grid on Instagram, right? On TikTok, I would kind of say, if you could, perfect is the enemy of done. I don't want anybody to sweat this. TikTok is so still the Wild West. And as one of my videos earlier in the week said, the tipping point's been reached. So if you're like straddling the line about whether or not you should use TikTok at all, no matter what your business model is, no matter who your ideal customer is, if that's something you've been like, well, maybe I could wait. Maybe I could wait until the platform matures a little bit more. I'm not really sure that my ideal customers are on TikTok. You can't anymore because more than half of the users on TikTok are adults now. We're talking Generation Y or millennials on up. That's it. You're done. Okay. Yes, there's some baby boomers on that account and there's more and more coming. Gen X is starting to fill in nicely on TikTok, but most of my students, when I ask about their business models and at least demographic plus psychographic information about their ideal customers, usually y'all are saying I'm selling to millennials. Okay, well, guess what? Millennials makes a very healthy portion up of the 52% of adults that are using TikTok. And the average TikTok user now can be on TikTok for around an hour a day. And now their consumption of content on TikTok is starting to exceed the consumption of content that they will also view on YouTube. That's ridiculously huge. So again, it's more evidence that piles up that when it comes to using TikTok, you've reached your tipping point. You can't not be on there anymore. And if you're concerned that your ideal customer isn't on there, demographics aside, you're like, well, what about psychographics? I'm not really sure that they're using that app so much yet. Really? Okay, so why don't you go on the bottom of the app? Once you download it and you log in on like that home screen, on the bottom, you're going to have your options. If you tap on Discover, it'll take you to the Discover page. At the top of the Discover page is a search function. Put in any keyword or hashtag, either which way it does work. Any sort of keyword or hashtag that has to do with the type of search terms that your ideal customer, whomever they are, is searching up for content to binge on, no matter what platform they're on. You just so happen to be on TikTok, especially any sort of keywords and or search terms and that have to do with the intersecting interests that would bring them to a business like yours with offerings like yours. And when your face falls off to see like already how much content is already on there and optimize with those keywords / hashtags, now you know that you wait any longer, you're late to the party. The tipping point's been reached. The fact that people, like as of last year, and it's still the case right now while this live is being shot live, TikTok's the most downloaded app in the world. The end. And it's still the case because there's still tons of growth. I don't foresee in the near future anyway, as best I can project, that they're going to get knocked off by anybody anytime soon, because you still have so many more adults that can come onto that platform, but we're already more adults than kids. The end. The end, number one, it's the most downloaded app and will continue to be for the near future. Number two. Number three, you're once you do that keyword / hashtag search using the search / discover feature on TikTok, you're done. You're going to be like, whoa. But then also the fact that people are now consuming content on TikTok longer than they do on YouTube. YouTube is a venerable platform. I'm not going to sit here right now and say that YouTube's in trouble, but what I am going to say is that TikTok is a serious contender, even with YouTube. And even YouTube bringing in YouTube Shorts, yes, it's giving them traction. Yes, YouTube and Google are owned by Alphabet, the umbrella company. So yes, if you optimize things properly with your SEO or your search engine optimization in terms of titles and descriptions for your YouTube Shorts, you can get on that YouTube shelf on YouTube itself. But even more importantly, since I'm talking mostly to adult entrepreneurs here on this channel, you're going to get really good ranking in Google itself. You're going to be very likely, depending upon how you optimize stuff, you are very likely to end up on the first page of the SERP or the search engine results page on Google. Will you be able to have that forevermore? Not necessarily, but right now you will. YouTube is desperate. It needs to be a contender of TikTok, the same way Instagram ripped off TikTok and did Instagram Reels, because if they don't do that, not only are they going to become culturally irrelevant, nowadays it does not take a very long time for that to happen, and they'll suffer MySpace disease and be gone. But then on top of it, you have the fact that they need to serve up ads, right? So they need to keep people on the platform to see ads. So they're desperately fighting with one another to stay relevant and to keep users on their platforms. So I am going to tell you now, Heather, to close the loop on your question, and I will get to the iOS 15 update in a minute. I just want to make sure I address my students' questions, especially on TikTok, because we've hit that tipping point. You have to be on it. The video that I just pinned the link to, if you can access it and watch it up front, I would. It's going to be live on my channel tomorrow anyway. It will tell you on the regular as a busy adult with your busy adult personal and professional life, what I would still recommend that in some ways matches these younger kids that are giving people recommendations about TikTok and how often to post, but in some ways differs in a way that should be good news to you. And obviously more is better. If you went back 5 years ago or more on almost any platform that existed at that point, you might have somehow been able to post too much, but it's pretty much impossible now, right? So many people are consumers of content, and increasingly more people are becoming content creators. I do think it's a fair thing to say that on pretty much any platform, there will always be way, way more content consumers than there are those that are content creators, right? So that, but you can't, like, more people and more competitors of yours, especially the younger ones, are getting very, very savvy about how to use organic content marketing. You can't afford to sleep at the wheel on that, right? So Heather, I would try to launch with as many TikTok videos as you can the first day, maybe like 4 to 8 or so. So at least you kind of have a grid coming up, and maybe you'll wait like a half an hour to an hour between putting each one up if you'd like, to at least give the algorithm a chance to serve up each video on its own. On TikTok, what's really good about the algorithm that's a bit different than the other algorithms is, at least for now, I'll let you know if I know that this changes, the algorithm on TikTok cares a little bit less about how big or how popular your channel is already, right? So it gives small fries a chance to compete. Each piece of content continues to get served up and suggested to people who should be following your account but aren't already, until that individual piece of content fatigues. So there's like some sort of, and we don't know the exact number, but there's some sort of like predetermined like tray or grouping of folks in terms of like size and, you know, what criteria they might meet to be the type of content consumers that would like content like yours. The algorithm serves out to like the first bracket or tray or grouping of people. It tries to stack the deck because when you win, it wins. It keeps people on the platform more, right? So, and it will continue. And if your video, each individual video, whether you're launching or just regularly after that, folks, each video will stand on its own merits. So you could have one video that you posted a month ago, in theory, that could still be served out to more and more people over time, because if it keeps surviving each bracket, if each bracket of people who get served or each grouping of people who get served that particular video on TikTok, if they are really hyper engaged with it, they're commenting, they're following you, they're liking it, whatever, the more engagements that you get, those are positive data points for the algorithm to measure, and it's going to keep pushing that individual video out. So Heather, what's really good news for you is, regardless of how many videos you can put out on that first day to kind of fatten up your feed, every video is going to be judged on its own merits, which is really good. So maybe especially on that first day, we're going to put out multiple videos, right, to fatten up that initial feed. Make each one kind of a little bit different from another, because within a 24 hours, you can start to see, by checking each individual piece of content, you're going to be able to see like what your little baby fledgling audience likes, right? Make sure you guys go pro or have a business account on TikTok. It's free. It's a couple of clicks. Google how to do it, because the click by click can always change. But the bottom line is it's like a couple of quick clicks. I'm over 50. If I'm telling you it's easy, I promise you it is. So like, go pro, because you're going to want those pro analytics. You won't get those pro analytics or those business analytics until you've got at least a week's worth of content up there. But you can always check, of course, each individual piece of content's analytics. You will get more and more deep dive analytics when you go to a business account and check your analytics. And I would check your analytics the same day every week. You could check a month at a time or whatever, but I think that's too long to go. And you, especially because you're a busy entrepreneur, you have a family and all these things, you don't have time to just kind of wing content out. And like, I hope some of it lands, and it's like good news that the algorithm will, push out every video on TikTok and have it perform on its own merits. It doesn't give you like extra points because you're already a big account or something like that. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, by the way, on TikTok, currently in this snapshot of time, has 784,600 followers on TikTok, following a lot of what I teach my students, especially in Social Talk Shortcut. So again, the deadline for that course at $397. After that, I will fatten it up and it will go to $997. But what's already in there is definitely all the framework that you need to succeed. I've got a bunch of students who already are getting sales on TikTok, especially through the messages, right? Because it's like the DMs on Instagram. They'll get inquiries and people will ask stuff about products and or services and or things that are being displayed in those videos, and people who are interested will already be like reaching out to you Q&A, FAQ style, and then what's the price and how do I buy, right? And TikTok is already been experimenting with having links in apps so that people can like click on a link in your video for like a t-shirt or something that you sell, and it can open up a shop page so that they can make a purchase in app but not leave the app, because again, they want you to start living more and more of your life on their app to keep it relevant, to keep serving up ads to you, right? So Heather, does that kind of answer your initial question about how many posts to kick off with? As many posts as you can that first day to fatten up the feed, maybe between 4 to 8 or 9, time-lapsed over the course of the day. No one's ever going to do it perfect, but perfect's the enemy of done. Get that ball rolling, fatten up that feed within the first 24 hours, and then follow that video's advice that I pinned about what to do in a very realistic way going forward so that you can actually take advantage of all the super growth that you can get on that account, but still be realistic because you have a business and you have a life. You and your husband have been in business for years. Heather also says, can I download the reels I've done and use those, or will those be dinged for being Instagram content? They definitely will be dinged. What I tell people all the time is to take the raw video, right, that you will save on your camera, on your gallery, and just upload it and edit it natively in-app on TikTok. And then when you're done and you've released your TikTok, take that same raw video that's in your gallery and upload it to Instagram and edit it there for several reasons. First of all, people, they know whether you wipe away, like there's apps and software that'll help you like get rid of like logos and stuff, watermarks. So who cares? Because the algorithms that rule both platforms know what's been created in app and what's been created in the opposition's app. So you're never going to get good reach that way. No way. For that reason alone, don't do it. I know it would save you a ton of time, and I wish I could tell you, oh, you can get away with it, but you can't. But then there's also the content strikes that you can get on Instagram or TikTok, whether it's a business account or not. Just because there's songs and sound effects that are okay to use on TikTok, it doesn't mean that they're okay to use it on any other platform, let alone Instagram Reels. So either platform could be like, that's a violation of the terms of service, terms of use. But and plus they don't want perfectly edited videos just being uploaded and released on either app, because they want you to play around with their new tools, their new features, their new filters and whatever else. They want you to play with their toys. If you're not using them, it's kind of frustrating to them. They're like, they're here. I want you staying on the app longer and editing. But again, this is not like you're writing War and Peace with these videos. None of them are very long. Instagram Reels currently can go up to 1 minute. And for most everybody watching this live or on the replay, you should now have the ability on TikTok to go to 3 minutes. They are experimenting and slowly rolling out the ability to do up to 5 minutes on TikTok. Why do I think they're going longer and longer on TikTok? Because they're already starting to eclipse YouTube in terms of how much time their adult users are spending on that app. Okay, so already YouTube's in hot water, which might have been unthinkable a year ago. Okay, so that answers those questions. Daniela says, oh, I have a good memory. She says, on the road, heading there to my live event now. It was a busy month. Going to do a revamping of our website. Good girl. And when we reopen, we will have a promo as a celebration. Very wise. Already sent out an email about it. ABT, always be teasing. Nicola Cousins, I put the site live yesterday. That's her website. Almost canceled the launch due to major tech issues. I'm sorry, girl. I'm having tech issues with the stupid payment plan that I'm trying to do for TikTok, which is part of the reason why I booted everything over to Friday and the cart's not closing today. Plus, I had like a bajillion people say, please wait, Friday's payday and all that. God bless you guys. She said she had to limit the products that went live as of the launch of her website, which she's disappointed about, but it's up. It's up. Perfect's the enemy of done. And you have forever more, in theory, Miss Nicola, to keep adding more products. And yeah, you know what? I kind of was going to say something along these lines. She adds, I feel like I put too much pressure on myself. Talk about launch ugly. Girl, I hear you. Pressure is reduced now that I know it works. There's plenty more to do. Bridget from Personal Space Creation says, we're going to try to multicast our live sale on YouTube and our Facebook page tomorrow night. And she's using something that a lot of YouTubers love to use, which is StreamYard, which is not sponsored or anything like that. Oh, Jessica Speaker. Hello. Hi at Jessica Speaker. What's going on? Make sure when you're live, you always greet people who come on your live. She says, my neighbor Bridget told me about you. Hi, Miss Jessica. Well, I'm glad she did. And Donna's here, everybody. What's up with your business lately, superstar? Hi, Transformational Healing by Donna. Go check her out if you haven't. I know she's got a very active YouTube channel here as well. Marissa Parsons is here. Miss Marissa. Jacqueline! The Wicked Griffin is here, everybody. Say hi to superstar Jacqueline Fatiga Schuster. Hi, Miss Jacqueline. I hope you're still here. Okay, yes, good morning live. Popping in for a few. I know Dawn got stuff both live and online, and she's coach and course creator now for all sorts of crystal, Wiccan, pagan things, and she's got all her Etsy shops and her website. Okay, so The Speckled Loon by Susie B. Is it okay to get your pro account and get into it for a few weeks? Sure it is. I'm filming content, but I won't have time to generate anything in the app until I'm done prepping for my next show. I think you're fine. Okay, good. So I answered Heather's questions. Everybody's saying hey in the account. Hi, Joan Eleanor. What's up? Good to see you. If you guys haven't given this video a big thumbs up, please consider doing so. It's like putting a tip in the jar, and the algorithm will serve this out to more of my subscribers, and I really appreciate it. Heather says that does make sense. I record everything on my phone first now, but I did have some videos I did in Instagram Reels in the past. I will start fresh and make new videos for those. Thanks, Stacey. You are welcome. Okay, let's talk about what I titled this video for. I mean, I always take care of my students first. Without them, I'd be nowhere, right? So respect. But I didn't forget. We are going to talk about the Apple privacy update that basically went live now. It's kind of Apple's forcing people, especially with the iPhones, to take those updates, and or people have, automatic updates scheduled for their phones, which lots of people do. It's now coming live for a lot of people. And if you're an email marketer, which you should be, this will concern you. I will do my best to assuage your concerns. Because I think at the end of the day, this isn't cataclysmic. You just have to readjust when it comes to one of the analytics that you would look at for email marketing. Hey, Graylin, good to see you. Hope you had a great week since we spoke last. What's up? Joan Eleanor says all good. Yay. She says moving into TikTok and wondering about doing Reels as well. You should. I hope you heard the advice that I just gave Heather a minute ago. Donna says she's in the middle of her intro to working with Crystal's class launch. She's been teaching for years. She's now putting things, in like recorded stuff, like my social talk shortcut course. She's editing videos for the Self-Care for Entrepreneurs Challenge. Great. And planning out her live for today on YouTube. Good girl. I do think on YouTube, it does make sense to go live once a week. Whether you're a coach and a course creator or not, even if you're a products-based business, you could showcase a product, you could spotlight a product and go, hey, we're going to talk about this crystal today and different properties it has, right? Give away some value. Is this update for Apple phones only? Yes, as of right now. Okay. Yes, as of right now. Anybody with the iOS 15 update or, iPhones that take the iOS, and Mac OS Monterey, which is the operating system for desktops, laptops, that sort of thing. Right now, more specifically, it's for those that are using Apple Mail. They have the option to enable a new feature that's called Mail Privacy, MAIL. Okay, it's not like a mail review. It's mail privacy as an email. Mail privacy protection. actually, and it will limit your email service providers, whether it's MailChimp or Entreport, or God help you if you're using Infusionsoft or anything like that, ConvertKit. I would say if you're a beginner email marketer and you don't have a very big list, use the free or freemium version of MailChimp, not sponsored, until you start having to pay. Once you're in a position where you have to start paying, you've got, I want to say, like 1,000 contacts on your email list. I'm like way above that. Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill is almost at 10,000 themselves on their email list size. That does include unsubscribers. So if people unsubscribe, I would cleanse them out of there so you're not paying for those contacts or anything like that. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about what happens with the the mail privacy protection that the iOS 15/Monterey update, what that is going to do to your ability to track your analytics when it comes to your email list. There's bad news, there's good news, there's great news. So the way I look at it, okay, because going forward, once Apple let this, once Apple like opened up Pandora's box is open. You know that other operating systems are going to do something similar because their users are going to beg for it, or they're busy beta testing it right now. So this mail privacy protection update that Apple has unleashed upon us will, for those that are using Apple Mail as of right now, that's certainly not everybody, but keep in mind, it's going to shroud or obscure your ability to see going forward whether or not an email has been opened, where a contact is located normally and where they open that particular email, and the type of device and client that a contact is using when they open it. So, but here's the thing. It doesn't affect deliverability rates, number one. So that's like your biggest concern when you're building an email list, okay? Like, oh my God, are people going to get my emails? If they're already reasonably engaged with your emails, at least some of the time, you're not likely to go to spam. And if they've whitelisted your email, it should never go to spam because it's different parlance might change from email service provider to email service provider, but basically you're an approved contact that's in their address book. One of the things that I'll say up front, especially moving forward, if you've not done this already, is you need to, in the email that goes out with whatever the email opt-in, delivering whatever the email opt-in is it a coupon code? Is it a free downloadable? Or anything like that. When someone opts into your list, when they get that success email that delivers whatever it is that they signed up for, in that email, there should be, it's what I call the indoctrination email, because it's not just delivering the thing and be like, have a Coke and a smile, bye. You want to let them know without loading up on live links, because more than like 3-4 links, the deliverability of your email might be affected because it might be treated by the email service provider receiving your email. It might be treated as spam, but like 3-4 links, fewer is better, but 2-3-4 links, not bad. I wouldn't go beyond that. Live links, live clickable links, hyperlinks, right? But in that email, they're not only getting, say, the coupon code that they opted in for, they're also getting indoctrinated to what your brand is about. So you don't want to write War and Peace, but by the same token, you want to remind them who you are, what your business is, who you help, and how you help them, right? So that if it wasn't clear, or by the time they check this email, they've forgotten who you are because it's a day later and they're busy, it indoctrinates them. And there should be a couple of links. One should definitely be to your website where they can turn in the coupon, right? For example, or your website so they can learn even more about you beyond the 4 corners of your email, the indoctrination email, which will have like a near 100% open rate normally, okay? Now, I know as of this update, if people are using Apple Mail, you won't be able to see the open rates, okay? But rest assured, it's kind of common sense the trail is still warm, it hasn't gotten cold. The way you should set up your email automation cycle is that they should instantaneously be fired out that email. So very quickly, they're going to get that email with the coupon code or whatever freebies that's in it. So they're really watching like hawks to see like when that email comes in a lot of times. So they are very likely to still open that email. So at least one of the live clickable links should be to your website. They can redeem the coupon and or learn more about you. But there should also be instructions on how to whitelist the email address that they just got this freebie delivered from. And you could, and there's articles that you can copy and paste the live clickable link to. So maybe that's your second hyperlink. The first one's like, here's my website. The second one is, this is how to whitelist my email address, because I'm going to be sending you more goodies and you want to make sure that you get the goodies right. And if I have any announcements, you want to make sure you get those too, right? Of course, right? They're all like, this is news. So they're all excited about you. So they're more likely to be open and amenable to hearing from you at this point. And so, unless you piss them off, they're going to want to stay on your email list. So many people will click on that link that'll take them to the article about how to whitelist an email in AOL, Yahoo, Gmail, and all those things. There's a ton of different articles out there that will cover at least several of the top biggest, Apple Mail, of course, should be part of that article, right? And so I would every couple of months, if not monthly, once a business quarter, I would click on the link in your, in that indoctrination email to make sure that the article isn't out of date. Right? Maybe there's an updated version for 2022, since we're coming in on 2022 soon. Jeez, the year went by fast. So if somebody whitelists your email, they're always going to get your email until such time as they unsubscribe. Okay. So the first link should be to your website. The second link should be to an article about how to whitelist your email. And so then if after that they've whitelisted your email, they'll get everything that you shouldn't go into their spam or trash folder. Whitelisting an email, like any article will talk about, like for Gmail users, how to drag over, your stuff in from the promotions folder into the main email folder and all of that. You need to protect that integrity of being able to send and receive emails between the two of you. So if you're not a really savvy email marketer, you didn't even know about the concept of whitelisting or why it's so important. And I wouldn't put it in the second email. I would put it in the first email, because you are all but guaranteed, almost 100% guaranteed, that they're going to open that email. So when they take away open rates, I know people are going to start freaking. And this is just the beginning. It doesn't mean everybody's doing this simultaneously today while this is live, but if Apple's doing it, the world watches Apple. So soon you will see this on Android and other devices and operating systems. So really quickly, let me see. Jacqueline says, so sick of all these updates, people don't realize they'll still get ads, but they just won't be relevant. Does this include the Gmail app on a phone? Not yet, I don't think, but anytime now, because the world watches Apple. And so they're going to be like, oh, so either they kind of all knew about each other in the background because they might spy on each other or whatever, and or today is going to be the shot that's fired across everybody's bow. And they're going to be like, oh, we got to do this too, because our people are going to want to be protected too. Jacqueline's right. Like, a lot of people just aren't very savvy about how ads are run and stuff like that. So I don't try to opt out of these things. I'd rather have customized ads be run to me. I don't want to see all this generic trash, right? You think you're not going to be served ads? You still will. She's exactly right. But she's like a super successful business. So this is not her first time around the block. But just because they're taking away the open rates, I know that might seem upsetting, but the deliverability won't be affected, especially if you train your email VIP, your newly minted email VIP, to whitelist your email. It also won't affect the engagement rate that occurs within an email. So if you're one of my, students, you likely know what those other two engagements are. The main two engagements you care about is click activity and click-through rate. So like I tell y'all that ideally, especially anybody who's taken my email marketing course message, you know that every email should have some sort of call to action. So, yes, it's important, it used to be very important to be able to see when somebody opened up your email. But I did always make the argument that it's one thing that people open up your emails and they read them, but it's another thing, like, you want to get them to click. That's the whole point of sending the email. You're not necessarily every single day going to have a sales message in your email, unless you're one of my more advanced students and you've got a promotion every day or a main promotion every week. How do you think people get to 6 figures and multiple 6 figures and beyond? Do you think it's by doing 1 or 2 sales a month or a sale or 2 a year? Not usually. They're open for business every single day. They're making offers every single day. And some percentage, even if it's a small percentage, takes them up on that offer every single day. When all the pistons in the engine block of your business are firing right, you have the right ideal customer. You're not pitching to people who have little to no money. You are going for like upper middle class and above, ideally, within that niche. I know someone's net worth is not synonymous with their self-worth and vice versa, and it's true, but you will go out of business trying to sell to people who have little to no money. And all you're going to do is frustrate them because they can't buy from you, even if they really, really want to. So, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. The most important thing when you're sending an email, even if there's no sales message in it at all you're doing is serving up your latest blog post for the week or your latest YouTube video for the week. And you are providing them. And let's just say that the main point or focus of your blog post or your YouTube video isn't to sell something. It's just a tip, a trick, a technique behind the scenes. Get to know the business more, get to know the business owner more. Everybody likes a good creation story. Everybody likes a good underdog story or grassroots revolution story, right? And even if you're sharing testimonials or case studies from past clients or customers of yours, yes, those tend to be tinged with sales messaging, but people like those. People like to see people win. It's very inspirational content for them, right? And aspirational content too. So, your goal is still to get them to click on the link or the button or the graphic or any one of those things to get them to click through to your blog post, to get them to click through to your YouTube channel or a podcast episode. Some of my students know that their ideal customer really, really uses podcasts and they can't not be there. That's not necessarily all of you. Heather says, if they're taking the open rates away, does that mean that if our customers have an Apple device, we won't see if they opened it? What it means is if they are using Apple Mail and they opted into this thing, no, you won't see if they opened it. However, you will still get click-through rate and other types of engagement rate, okay? Which the main thing that I want you guys to focus on is click-through rate. You will still have that data. So whether you're using MailChimp or ConvertKit or anything else, it only applies to Apple Mail users right now. I'm just making sure that I'm not spreading like any sort of fake news or anything. But like I told you, the world watches Apple, so things are going to probably change for a lot of people. If you have, like, say you're in MailChimp or something like that, and you set up a campaign to track and trace open rates, you will now, from basically now moving forward, likely get very distorted reporting information because you will have, if it was already in play before people started to take these updates, you'll have some information, but then all of a sudden there'll be a huge drop off from any of your Apple Mail users. Now, not everybody in the world uses Apple Mail. I'm just telling you that this stuff started today. Or really in earnest around now, and just to get ready. So if you have any sort of software at all, and this is more for my intermediate to advanced students or anybody watching that is more savvy about email marketing and using software like client engagement software, engagement-based software, like even Salesforce and stuff like that, my goodness. Any sort of A/B split testing that you're doing based upon open rates or open rates alone are obviously not going to be very accurate moving forward. especially in MailChimp, because lots of people use MailChimp. You have any sort of customer journeys set up, or any sort of more classic automation set up, and automations are triggered based upon opens. What's going to happen is it's automatically going to be sent to per MailChimp. Let me look at their thing on this. Per MailChimp, the automations triggered based on opens specifically, not click-throughs, but opens. They're going to be sent to a larger audience. They're not really terribly specific about this. If the trigger is based on a not open, it will be sent to a smaller audience. So their recommendation, which is important because I know a lot of my students are MailChimp users, they're recommending that you consider expanding your trigger criteria to include other engagements like clicks or purchases. Yeah. So, whether you're using MailChimp or any other sort of email service provider, and or you're layering in any sort of CRM, client relationship management types software on top of that, you're really going to take away the opens. You may as well do it now, because I'm very sure in a month from now, everyone or almost everyone has adopted this. Okay. But you do still need, and these are really the more important things to look at. If you had to have a choice to sacrifice one of the three major metrics when it comes to email marketing, open rates, yeah, they are cool, but I'm really more interested in the people who click through and followed my call to action. Okay. And of course, I'm most interested in people who gave me the third and the biggest macro conversion. They purchased something from me, because once somebody purchases something from you, your customer service is good and the product and service is good and all of everything else is on point, and you continue to email market and do social media marketing, because most people, even though those things are going on continuously and parallel, yes, it's a lot of work, but this is how we make sales. This is how you get to 5 figures if you're not, multiple 5 figures if you're not, 6 figures and beyond. Over the last several years alone, the amount of students that I have that are at 6 figures, over 6 figures, or flirting with 6 figures has greatly increased. And it's not just because of 2020. I had people doing that in 2018 and 19 too. So it doesn't include Gmail now, but it will soon, I'm very sure. And I think I answered Heather's question. If they're taking the open rates away, does that mean if they have an Apple device, they won't see if they opened it? They have to be using Apple Mail right now. That update, whether they take the update or not, and most people will at some point, they'll be forced to. If they're not using Apple Mail, it's not affected yet. But whomever else they're using, eventually this is going to come through. So Joan Eleanor, I think I answered your question too. Is this only for Apple Mail? As of this snapshot in time, yes, but it will probably spread to Gmail, Yahoo, etc. Yup. Jacqueline says, we just released a digital magazine yesterday. Congratulations. So content marketing is back on the menu now. I love it. Yes. I always say you're a business, so you have to have sales and you have to have sales messaging during your lives, right? During your social media, organic content marketing. For intermediate and advanced students of mine, of course, for your ads, content marketing and really good captions will grab people. It won't just slow down their scroll. It'll stop their scroll. They need to click those ads, or even your organic content marketing, unpack any captions like for Facebook and Instagram feed posts, or Reels, or IGTV videos, right? Or they need to go look at your show notes on YouTube. Like I have a bunch of stuff in my show notes in YouTube. I did. You don't want a million calls to action per piece of content, but you want to be ready and come at people from every side. So even when you're driving somebody with, even if it's a straight up value add YouTube video, your show notes can do a lot of heavy lifting for you. If you drive somebody to your weekly blog post on your website, let's say, the website may not be straight up salesy, although some of them will be. The blog post won't be straight up salesy necessarily every time, but even though the blog post might be a complete value add, the way everything is optimized around that blog post for that particular page or post on your website, that should be definitely, it should be conversion based all over the place. You should be able to have an email opt-in on the sidebar, in the footer. You know what I mean? You should have a menu in the footer. You should have a top level menu, all the things, right? To keep them on that website, to keep them engaged. And if they're not on your email list yet, to get in there. And yeah, I don't mind pop-up software. Be careful though. Google hates crap that pisses off users because Google wants to stay relevant, right? Google wants to serve up ads and all that stuff. So like you can't use pop-up. You can, but if you don't get the conversions you want, this might be part, if not all of the reasons why. On every page and post on your website, if you have a pop-up that immediately shows up when someone gets there, it's like 2 seconds later. There is no bright line for this, but give them at least like 10, 20 seconds to be on a site before a pop-up shows up. Because if it's like immediately there, I don't care how many people are doing it, they don't understand. And even if they seem like they're bigger businesses, that doesn't mean they know everything. I don't know everything either, but I'm telling you, I know this. When it comes to pop-ups, they can't take up the whole page or close to it. Google will hate you for that. And they can't show up immediately. Google will hate you for that. That pisses users off. Pop-ups can work. They're great. I'm not saying don't use them on blog posts or on pages and stuff like that. I'm just saying don't make them huge. They can be bigger, but they can't be like huge. And don't make them trigger immediately. Everyone will hate you, including including Google. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me about the iOS 15 update, how it affects you immediately with Apple Mail users, and I'm sure in the weeks to come, everybody else? The bad news is you're not going to see open rates. The good news is you will see click-through rates and it won't affect your email deliverability. And the great news is, you're still going to be able to see if you set everything up and or everything's set up like that automatically. You will still see who purchases. You will still see who clicks through. Those are your warm to hot situations anyway. So if anything, knowing is part of the battle, sure. And not being shocked or going, I don't know, why don't I have those analytics anymore? Or how come my A/B split tests are wonky and don't make sense as of late? Well, that would be why. That's a great tip on pop-ups, says Laura F. You are most welcome, Miss Laura. I've been doing this since 2013, okay? So nothing and nobody's perfect, but I have been around doing this kind of marketing and also doing this kind of coaching. The coaching part was more 2013, 14 part-time, but by 2015, like February of 2015, I went full-time through the present time. I have thousands of students under my belt, thousands. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you do. And if you haven't given this a big thumbs up, make sure that you do. And if you're watching on the replay, yes, I care that you're watching on the replay. Not only ask whatever questions that you want, especially having to do with the TikTok tipping point, I think is very exciting too, but also the Apple iOS 15 update, the most recent one, its impact on email analytics moving forward. Because and also a nice hashtag live or hashtag replay. I like to kind of see who's alive and on the replay. Well, you guys who are currently here, I know that you're here. There's so many moving pieces to this stuff, but it doesn't mean that you can't master it. It just means, there's a lot to learn and you just have to be gentle with yourself. And the older you are and the less natively intuitive this stuff is. I'm over 50 and I'm telling you that even as late as 2012, I was like, why the hell don't people call each other anymore? What's all this texting? Why are people sending each other cupcakes on Facebook? Well, that might have been back in 2010, 11. That's dumb. Why are people playing Farmville? I don't understand all this stuff. Now I really do. And I've made a business out of it full time for years and years. I don't care if you're selling products, you're selling services, you're a coach, you're a course creator, you're a food service establishment. I have taken people to close to 6 figures, over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, and with Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, 7 figures now. And they're a single location in the middle of upstate New York kind of biz. And they are currently at 780, over 50, need those glasses, 784,600 followers. They have 17 million likes pretty much on the nose. And they're not doing no follow, unfollow pod things, okay? They're following like 31 accounts And it's for a very strategic reason why they're doing it. The amount of traffic to their website is gorgeous. Given the type of business that they are, they're not currently doing an email opt-in because people all over the globe, like, we're not going to ship a burger to Hamburg, Germany. But once they're ready with the merch line that they're coming out with, because people in the messages are like, I may never be able to go to Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, but don't you have t-shirts or hats? Like, can I buy merch? And they're like, you know, that's a whole nother line of income for them. That's a whole nother income stream. Like, if that doesn't tell you just in and of itself the power of TikTok for any business, like, I don't know what else to tell you. 52% of all users on TikTok are adults now. A lot of them are millennials, most are, but increasingly Gen Xers are too, and Gen Xers and baby boomers. But there are more adults than children. They're now spending close to an hour a day on that app, and they are now spending a bit more time on TikTok than they are on YouTube. The end. You got to be on it. You cannot hide from it. It's not just for kids. Go to the Discover feature, use the search box, and put in any keywords or hashtags that have to do with your particular ideal customer and the type of content that they would binge that would intersect them with a business like yours. It's there. It's absolutely there. Okay? You are not too early. So yeah, the things that you really want to look at in your email campaigns moving forward, as you slowly will lose the ability to check open rates, is definitely your purchases, definitely your click-throughs, definitely monitor your bounces. You were probably doing that already. Your unsubscribes, right? And so, like, I don't care what email service provider you're using. You can archive contacts, but I wouldn't do that unless you're a coach or a course creator and somebody has like a course with you, but then they unsubscribe from your list. They probably made a mistake. So I might archive those contacts. You shouldn't be losing too many of those, okay? Like, if you know what you're doing and you don't have high refund rates, you should otherwise not be getting a ton of those. So those I could see you archiving. But otherwise, if someone's unsubscribing from your list and you're like, they have no causal connection to me as a customer, delete it. Delete that contact, because depending upon the email service provider you're using, they may be billing you for even the unsubscribes that are hanging out on your list. And then you might be paying for a bigger plan than you need. Bridget from Personal Space Creation says, thank you. I need to get my TikTok going. I'm still trying to figure out Reels and YouTube. Slow cooking the video posts. I'll get there soon. And that's fine. I don't want you guys to like melt down about this sort of stuff. But, it's all a decision, right? So if you're like, I wish that I was growing an email list, but I'm not, or it's way too low and slow. I wish that, because followers are great. I told you the huge number of followers that, say, Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill has, but that doesn't, you can't deposit followers in the bank. Yes, it's a positive sign of growth. And if you check your analytics, and it's more likely than not, given the demographic information and depending upon your business model, the geolocation-based information, most of my students sell their stuff online, whether their stuff is digital or not. So, that may or may not be important to you, but it might be important to kind of just keep your finger on the pulse of geolocation-based data or analytics or insights. But, the regular demographic stuff, like if you're selling to exclusively women, whatever, and you're seeing that like there's a too big mix of men and it's not like little to none, you need to obviously adjust your content marketing, your optimization, the subject matter of your content marketing, or how you're objectively optimizing your content, or both. But I don't want anybody to melt down, but if you're not doing short form video content marketing at this point, you need to prioritize it, because the amount of growth that you can appreciate on Instagram, especially, and then TikTok, definitely. And if YouTube is part of your stratagem already, especially if you're an intermediate to advanced student of mine, it likely is, then YouTube Shorts. Don't freak out about Shorts if you're not on YouTube yet, but you kind of can't turn a blind eye to TikTok. And if you're like, Instagram, Stacey, I don't have your social gram shortcut course, which is an Instagram deep dive course. I'm frustrated with my inability to really get much, if any, growth on Instagram. I think it's too late for that platform. I think that platform's too mature and too competitive. Again, there's always going to be less content creators on a platform than there are content consumers by far. So some of this is you just maybe consciously and or subconsciously allowing yourself off the hook. I'm going to be a coach and kind of boot you back in the game and say, if you focused on Instagram Reels and even just put out an Instagram Reel a day, you could really grow your Instagram account overall. Instagram's CEO said months ago now, they're no longer a photo sharing app. So I'm not saying don't put like photos or graphics or still images in your profile feed, especially if your current audience is liking that and engaging with it a lot. I'm not saying ignore that or just stop doing it. But what I am saying is that if you're not putting out an Instagram Reel a day, which you can leave the option pre-selected on the bottom when you go to publish it so that it publishes to your feed post as a feed post and a reel, then you've covered two bases for the price of one. Your feed won't stagnate if you're leaning into that type of content marketing more. And Instagram will, at least for now, give you a disproportionately huge push on your reels. The better you optimize your hashtags on your reels, and you get up to 30 of them. Those are 30 different ways for your content to be indexed on Instagram. There are 30 different ways for that one piece of content to come up in search. And I have videos about this on my YouTube channel too. I did like a couple of days in a row. We talked about Instagram SEO, which includes how to intelligently write captions using keywords to optimize for search engine optimization. Yes, in tandem with your hashtags, but kind of like it also is a little bit separate too. It gives you some extra boost or kick because people can search on keywords. People can search on hashtags. They can follow hashtags on Instagram. They can't follow keywords. That's like the one main difference. But also Instagram has said that increasingly Instagram keyword SEO and captions are going to become important too. Yes, you still need to be a ninja with your hashtags. Things are getting more competitive on that platform. They will on any platform. As more creators, there will always be more consumers and creators, but as more creators start coming to the table and optimizing their content better, so you can't afford to lay back on it, is what I'm saying. Heather said, I had someone unsubscribe last week with the reason I follow them on Instagram. Well, they're being goofy. What do you mean? On TikTok, you had somebody unsubscribe? I will say this. If someone's saying, I don't need to be on your email list because I follow you on social, well, then that's their choice. But eventually, your content marketing should at some point, a couple times over the course of a week or month, be showcasing why it's important to be an email VIP or part of your tribe, as Donna from, Personal Space Creation calls her email list members. For Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, they call them the JDB family or the JDB insiders. Everyone on social and everybody who loves Joe's is called the JDB family. But if you want to be a JDB insider and get the coupons, the inside scoops, the polls, the feedback, sneak peeks and more, well, then you're going to want to be on that email list. If somebody doesn't want to be on your email list, they're not going to buy from you. 60% of people who opt into your email list don't care if you sell to them all day long. They'll either take you up on an offer or they won't, but they got on there to be sold to. Now, not everybody can buy from you every day, but they get on there with the express purpose of being open to being sold to. The other 40%, they may not be hyperactive buyers yet, but if you do content marketing and it's not always just buy, or you have emails that are a hybrid of here's the latest YouTube video. Oh, and by the way, having a sale, it's ending on whatever day or what have you, or you're an email VIP. If you go take advantage of a site-wide sale and you put in this coupon code, you can double dip it. No one else can. Like, these are things you should be talking about on a live. These are things that some of your content itself might discuss. This is messaging that at least in some places on your website, it should be clear. In your show notes, in your YouTube videos, if you're doing those, people should see that there is an added benefit to get on and to stay on your email list. If they don't get it and you're pretty good about making that known from day to day, week to week, then they weren't going to buy from you. And I wouldn't sweat it after that. Because at the end of the day, we're all entrepreneurs. The most important macro conversion of the three, you're getting more followers or subscribers, you're getting more email VIP, email opt-ins, and you're getting more sales. Of course, sales are the most important thing. The people who are the most important to you, if we had to pick, are going to be your buyers, right? That's it. Heather says, on my email list, I thought it was so strange. They're not a buyer. They're not a buyer. Yeah, you're going to get strange things. You're going to get like, oh God, they have a sale every week. I'm sick of being sold to. They got on the email list of a business owner. What did they expect was going to happen? My goodness. People are weird. I wouldn't sweat it. When we have smaller businesses and or smaller email lists, we have the time to sweat the small stuff more. And I'm telling you, see the big picture. I'm not saying this specifically to Heather now. I'm saying this to everybody. Okay? I am saying your funnel is always going to have, the marketing and sales funnel is always going to have a bigger mouth up top, and that's where you're getting brand awareness. And through your organic content marketing and ads, when you start running those, that's going to get more eyeballs on your business, your content, your website, what have you, right? But most people are going to look, but fewer people are going to follow or subscribe or whatever that particular platform parlance is through social media content marketing and or social media ads, right? Fewer people still are going to get onto that email list. And then fewer people are going to drop down, especially right away, and buy. That isn't anything personal. No matter how big you get, that ratio is still going to hold. This is why you always want to drive as much traffic as you can into your marketing and sales funnel. I know that most of my students are adults. Most of my subscribers on YouTube are adults. They're not kids. They're not super young adults, right? They're not living still at home with mommy and daddy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. They may not be married, coupled up, or even have a roommate. I'm not downplaying anybody like that. They may not have kids. They may never have kids. They may not even have a pet or a potted plant to take care of. But, once you start getting some or all of those things, and like Bridget, she's got elder care, and increasingly more people are taking that on. I don't want to say very lightly, add more stuff to your to-do list. But I am telling you that when you do organic content marketing and you pair that up with email list marketing, they both run on the daily and parallel. And I know it's hard and it's something to aspire to and build to depending upon what challenges you have. But once you are doing email marketing and organic content marketing daily, and you're going live on the top 1 to 2 platforms that are most important to your niche, at least weekly, the algorithms start favoring you more. The humans start getting more used to being in your digital ecosystem more. The KLT factor, the know, like, and trust factor goes up more. And then they will end up buying from you when they didn't before. Or if they're on your email list already and they're a lurker, now they're more motivated to buy from you. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. People buy from other people and or business owners that they know, like, and trust. 60% might be hot to buy from you when they get on your email list, either immediately or like soon when it makes sense to them and they can. 40% need to kind of be wooed a little more. And if you think you can cut the line with advertising, the only way that you can do that where it works is if you have a good KLT factor or know, like, and trust factor. And or you are a vettable, credible entrepreneur. So 80% of people won't buy from you no matter what your business model is if you don't have a website. It drops down to like 60% of people will buy from you if you have a website, but it doesn't work, or it looks dated, or it looks like you never update it. If it's just a brochure site, there's not much on there. The theme's looking a little old, then at some point, yeah, it's better than nothing. But, the efficacy of your ads, your paid traffic drops and drops and drops. If you don't have your ideal customer right, if you haven't nailed their pain point right, if your marketing, your website, your paid ads, and the creative that goes with it doesn't show that you understand your ideal customer, whom do you serve, their main pain point, right? What's their main problem, and how you can solve that problem, right, with your business and its unique offerings. I don't care that you paid for ads to cut to the front of the line, you'll fail. That's, as the old marketing maxim goes, paid advertising just makes a failed concept fail faster. Do I like paid ads? Sure I do. Once you know you have proof of concept, and as I said earlier during the hour, all the pistons in the engine block of your business is firing. When you're a beginner, you have to work out all those snarls. Or you could have a beautiful website, but it still might not convert. Or you could have a beautiful website, but if you're not driving traffic to it ever, or just yay, grand opening, and that's all you do because you're too paranoid schizophrenic to send an email because you might piss people off, you're not an entrepreneur. You're behaving like a frightened little hobbyist. People know you're a business, and they get on your email list knowing you're a business. So for some reason they can't handle that you're sending them a coupon or a sale every day, then there's a disconnect in terms of reality. Their reality check bounced. You're a business. Act like a business. Market like a business. Do have some relationship marketing content out there so it's not just all cut and dry, sell, sell, sell. Because if you're not big or big already, or well on your way to being big, you're not going to get that instant know, like, and trust. Ooh, they're so popular. They're so hot. You know, people do need to be wooed with content marketing to understand who you are, what you do, how you do it, why it's important. And, you know, they want to be part of your grassroots revolution. So if you're a small fry, relationship marketing is like everything. And as soon as you're getting even low and slow organic content, organic macro conversions, you are getting some follows every week. You are getting a couple of email subscribers every week. And when you run a sale, you're making some money. Then you know that maybe once you've repeated that a couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks, and you look back at your analytics and go, you know, I got a little bit of a baby fire burning there. Then ads are great when you run them properly and the ad creative is good. When you pour that gasoline of paid ads onto a fire, the fire can blow up, right? So I'm not saying you have to be a beginner forever, pay your dues for months and months with content marketing that doesn't bring in anything for you. Nah. And organic content marketing can bring you a very good chunk of income by itself. But the goal is to always capture that lead onto an email list. And then from there, parallel content marketing and email, the know, like, and trust factor goes up every day, every week, every month, and soon even your holdouts are buying from you. Jacqueline says, the best advice you ever gave me was to email once a week. I now do it twice a week. That's awesome, because if you do it any less than that, if you're a Renee Christine fan, like Ruth Rouse, Sister Ruth, I love her. She did an interview with Renee years ago where she said that she used to be kind of timid about emailing her list. And when she emailed them less than once a week, if she did it like once or twice a month, because it's like she doesn't want to be too pushy and everybody has too much email in their email box, their email inbox. Well, maybe. But the thing is, she said the trail would go too cold. And she always noticed that she got more unsubscribes when she sent things out sporadically. When she started sending emails at least once a week, and she kept the trail warm, she got fewer unsubscribes, both from just the emails themselves, whether they were sales-based or not. And then when they were sales-based, she didn't see a bunch of people like defect. You know, if you've been kind of slovenly with your email marketing, just know that you may very well go through like a thorny patch that when you start doing once to twice a week, you might get some initial defectors. They're like, whoa, I wasn't used to this. Don't be pissed at them and don't be sad at yourself. You had to clean up at some point. There will be an adjustment period. If you don't get much of one, good on you. But when you email people more, they are used to seeing you more. And if you're providing value and it isn't all necessarily just sell, it will be less offensive to them when you do say at least once a week, buy. You cannot hope to get to have a huge business if you're not making more offers. I don't know how you make more money by selling less. If somebody wants to explain that to me in the comments down below live or on the replay, I'm your Huckleberry. I'll take that action. You tell me how that's possible. Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, which is a $100 million business a year, folks. And if you're like, ClickFunnels, what? Like, get the idea. It's not even like freaking, like Estee Lauder or Tiffany's or anything, right? Russell Brunson said that when he's not sending out an email to his list daily, he actually not only sells less, but his conversions are worse. That's when he gets, comparatively speaking, more unsubscribes. You want to keep the trail warm. You want to be, curating things. You want to be sharing value. You want to be talking shop. And even if tucked away in a PS, it's like, hey, a reminder, don't forget I have a site-wide sale going on. You're allowed to do it. You're a business. And anybody that gets morally wounded and offended, get off. You weren't buying from me anyway. My goodness. Could you imagine going into a supermarket, loading up your cart and saying, but this stuff's supposed to be free. I'm supposed to pay for this? What? So honestly, the goal is to be marketing daily, at least on the top 2 social media platforms that are most important for your niche. And ideally, I know, heavens to Murgatroyd, you should be sending out an email daily or close. You should. Okay. So that's it. So I think I'm glad you guys are happy with the tips. I think I've answered all of at least my students' questions for now. Anybody else who's coming in, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, because if you want content marketing that converts, whether you're putting it behind a paid campaign or not, I like to talk a lot about organic content marketing here, but during my lives, I'm happy to talk about regular SEO on Google or elsewhere, Instagram SEO, which is becoming more of a thing, email marketing, all of that. This is all about marketing that is meant to drive more traffic to your business, to do more business. I say that in the beginning of all my videos for a reason. We do the email marketing at least once to twice a week, if not more. We do social media organic content marketing and paid ads when we're ready to, at least daily, okay? Why? Because that marketing and sales funnel is always going to get more narrow with sales at the bottom. The more people you get into your funnel, the more followers or subscribers you're going to get. Statistically speaking, this is probability, this is statistics, this is math. The more people you get into the funnel, the more people who will follow or subscribe, the more people that are going to get on your email list. And yes, the more sales you will get faster. Okay? You're not being pushy. You're not peddling junk. Okay? You're not a fraud. And, you're a business. What do businesses do? They sell. So I hope this also helped you with the iOS 14 update. And I think we are done. Make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my weekly lives and my 4 pre-produced videos that show up every week, all about organic content marketing to drive more traffic to your business, to do more business. Thank you guys so much. Social Talk shortcut for the students who are interested in getting that. The cart close is now on this Friday at 11:59 p.m. The cart will close. I will send out an email once we have the payment plan version programmed for it. It's $397. I wasn't really planning on doing a payment plan for something like that. It'll likely be a 2-pay that we do for those people, especially my international students and customers. Okay, we'll get that up. I just have to finish conquering that programming and then we will. So, and then after that, next week, we will do the October popularity plan for those people who like that content marketing packet that we sell every month for $37. That'll help you with 15 pre-produced graphics, 15 corresponding captions that are super great to use on Facebook, Instagram, and yes, you can put them as Pinterest pin descriptions too if you like. And also 4 pre-produced emails, 1 that's assigned to every single week of a 4-week month. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.